This video provides an overview of the Provincial Math Holistic Rubric. The Education Sector Strategic Plan was a multi-year province-wide plan collaboratively developed with school divisions across the province. The plan spanned from 2014 to 2020. The ministry goal was that by June 2020, 80% of students will be at or above grade level in reading, writing, and math. And a provincial math team was formed and included classroom teachers from across Saskatchewan, including GSCS teachers, to develop the holistic rubric for the number strand. Reporting to the ministry happened in June 2019 and was supposed to happen in June 2020 as well, but this was cancelled due to COVID. The way we have done reporting is we take the term 3 number strand entry from your report card. Teachers use the rubric to figure out that entry, and we pull it automatically. This provincial goal became our division goal for math, and we are continuing focusing on grade 2, 5, and 8, assessing the number strand using the holistic rubric this year as a school division. This data helps us track progress and plan for learning. In prior years, we might have submitted data to the ministry from a standardized test or a common assessment. So I'm excited that the ministry and the division is trusting teacher professional judgment, as they are the ones who know their students best. We know that a standardized test is only a snapshot of student achievement on one day, so the rubric helps us gather evidence over the whole year and look holistically, hence the name. As we will be pulling grade 2, 5, and 8 number strand data to track progress and inform future planning, it's important teachers have a good understanding of how to use the rubric to determine the term 3 number strand entry on their report cards. And to support this goal, GSCS committed to supporting professional learning for teachers around the provincial holistic math rubric to assess the number strand. This year looks a little bit different in terms of the PD we're able to provide, but these videos and follow-up drop-in virtual sessions will support teachers in understanding just that, how to use the rubric to make a professional judgment about what it means to be at grade level in math. What does the provincial rubric look like? The wording in the rubric is exactly the same from grades 1 to 8. The only thing that's different is the notes at the bottom here, which summarize the number outcomes for each grade. And everything I share in these videos is available in French as well. Voici la rubrique pour la deuxième année. En plus, c'est la même rubrique pour chaque année, première à neuvième année. As it is a holistic rubric, teachers consider the overall picture of a student's achievement in the number strand and make a summary professional judgment based on multiple student artifacts as well as observations and conversations. Teachers decide on one number that goes into the term 3 number strand box in the June report card. You may have enough information in term 3 work, but it is very likely that you will have to go back to previous terms to review that evidence as well. So if you believe a student is here, here, and here, you need to use your professional judgment to pick one number for this rubric. It's important to note that teachers would not take an average of all the tests your students have done to get one percentage. And it's also important to take into account the most recent evidence. So if a student improved their understanding of number over the year, this needs to be reflected in your holistic view. Let's dive a bit deeper into the structure and wording. The first section is about students using prior knowledge and choosing strategies. This doesn't necessarily mean that students solve each question using multiple strategies. It means that over the course of the number outcomes in the year, teachers have evidence of students selecting appropriate strategies depending on the type of problem. For example, if when subtracting in grade 2, students sometimes choose to add up, while other times use doubles, and yet another time they're able to find the answer using a constant difference, then for this first particular indicator, they would be a 4. For application, let's look at the terminology here. Accuracy means completing a problem and ending up with a solution that's correct and reasonable. I got it right. Flexibility means being able to use more than one strategy or representation correctly. I got it right in more than one way. And efficiency means evaluating strategies to determine which strategy will facilitate getting the answer in a timely and correct manner. So I got it right more than one way, and I determined the most efficient strategy. If, when multiplying in grade 5, students multiplied 49 times 8 by adding 49 8 times, when they could have done mental math to multiply 50 times 8 and then subtract a group of 8, they would have shown accuracy, but not necessarily efficiency. And the last piece in the rubric is this expression of understanding. This is about students using multiple representations and mathematical language when justifying their thinking. For example, in grade 8, if a student is able to explain 1/2 times 3/4 by drawing a picture to show an area that is 1/2 of 3/4 of a pizza, they are using a pictorial representation. If that student at another time multiplies fractions by following the algorithm multiply across, and yet another time begins by drawing 8 objects, shading 3/4 of them, and selecting half of those, thereby representing multiplication as parts of a set, that student is showing their thinking using multiple representations. When making a holistic determination based on this rubric, multiple aspects of mathematical understanding are considered simultaneously across all outcomes in the number strand. Teachers use their professional judgment to determine the degree of grade level proficiency across multiple work samples, that is, products, but it's also very important that teachers use observations and conversations with students while engaged in math to determine degrees of independence. This is a key criteria for being at grade level. I've seen teachers keeping track of their observations and conversations in multiple ways. There's the classic sticky notes. You make a note, stick it into the appropriate student's page in your notebook or binder. And in a similar sense, I've seen teachers using blank label pages. They have their labels on a clipboard, jot down a quick note, and then later they can move the label and stick it into the appropriate student's page in their book. You can again use your phone to take photos, videos, or write notes. Organize these using Seesaw or Edsby as it rolls out next year, or even your Notes app, which allows you to take photos or scan right into the app. For all grades, we also have these outcome assessment checklists, which include the ICANN indicators as the success criteria for that outcome. En français, disponible seulement pour la deuxième, cinquième et huitième année. So as you take quick notes of your observations and conversations, perhaps using one of these tracking methods, you can distill them into these checklists to help you organize your work towards making a judgment using the holistic rubric. These can be found by clicking Your Grade on the Math One-Stop page under Teacher Support Documents. In other videos, we dive deeper into how to gather evidence to support our professional judgment in using the rubric and enter in that Term 3 number strand in June. Thanks for watching.